immediately, I said, this is great. Immediately. And then my cousin goes there and they started to put plugs in other ways and everything. So he was doing this. And I was working and everything. And his girlfriend at the time had a problem with his feet. And she was walking like this. Because she had a nail that was completely torn at the side, you know. So it was bleeding and everything. And he connected her for 15 minutes to the feet. She connected like this, I think. And after 15 minutes treatment, she got up and started walking completely normal. So my cousin says, you see, always the same thing. She says she's sick, and then it's nothing. Of course that I know it was not true. It's true that that girl has a lot of problems, and it's true that she's always making herself sick. Imagine it's like, one of my secretaries made a test and it appeared positive for cancer. So she was very scared about it. And I said, don't worry, I'll treat you. And at the same moment, Anna appeared there and she started saying, I have a problem with my heart for sure. Because she's in need constant of attention. So what happened when she connected to the laser? It was not that the laser treated the feet itself. No, the problem was still there. The complete difference was, for the first time, probably in many times, even in the relationship, like we were seeing, she felt herself for the first time. And because of that, she didn't have to have that pain in the feet. So I'm always telling Anna, go and do that, please. And she doesn't. Why? It's just like my mother. Exactly the same thing as my mother. My mother just made one treatment with the laser and never again she will do it again. I know this because I know my mother. So you want to know what happened to my mother? She made a treatment. It was not so high voltage. It was only 3 volts. So she almost didn't feel anything. The problem was, after 10 minutes, she started crying. And she couldn't stop for 1 hour and a half. She doesn't even know why she was crying. But it was so scary for her that she'll never do it again. So you see? Why? Because my mother is almost like every Portuguese mother there is. Like treating, nurture. Forget yourself and treat your sons. Treat your daughters. Treat your husband. Treat your friends. Do not treat yourself. And that's my mother. If you went to Portugal, you'll see. We're eating and my mother goes to the table and she's asking, yo, you need that. And Karen is saying, no, enough. Okay, I'll bring more. And she brings more. Even if we say, no, it's more than enough. You see, this is the thing you have to understand. The health navigator can work on one thing. The BBI works on a completely different level. These two differences are very important for you to understand as a therapist, so you can understand how to treat more efficiently your patients. I have these kind of cases, just like I have old men that go there. And imagine, there was an old man, like 75, and when I made the diagnosis for him, I said, okay, you're sick, but you're not so sick that you need treatment. Because I know he only needs something to hold on to life. And that's what laser does, because, oh, I feel myself, so I start living again. So you know what happened. On the first treatment, after 20 minutes, 1 week later, he comes back and he says, sorry, but you have to put it up more. And my cousin went, why? And I'm going to do exactly what he did. Because this down here stays up again all night. So you see, it was not because he had a problem with his heart. It was not because he had a problem with the circulation. It was not because he had a physical problem. Nothing. It's just because all of a sudden, an old man that doesn't have a boner for 20 years, he started feeling like, I'm 20 years again. You want a better reason to live than this? So you see, I have all these kind of cases. But all of these are connected to one thing. It's not a sickness. It's because the people are stable. They are not sick. They are not, they only feel kind of lost. They only lost where to go next, you know? And that's life. Because life makes that happen to you. You think you're living, but you're not. Just doing problems after problems, objectives after objectives, and then you grab something and say, oh, okay, so this is not enough. And you go to the next level. You see? And all of a sudden, it's nothing. Oh, it's 70 years old, okay, time to die. And people are like this. But more incredible, children are starting to be like this. That for me is a problem. I'm starting to see kids at the age of 5, at the age of 4, imagine, with problems with the lungs, with problems with the liver. That's why I said some people I don't charge at all, not even for a consultation, like just to see what's happening. Because the main problem there, a child doesn't understand any of this. So why is she sick? This is a question I usually do, because this is something I truly believe. So how can a child be sick? It's not the child itself, it's the parents, it's grandmother, it's grandfather, uncles. She's only a mirror of what she has at home, you see? So what the parents do most of the times, it's not my fault, it's your fault. And then it's not the father, it's the mother. And that mother said, it's not my fault, I treat her very nice, it's not my fault, it's your fault. And all of a sudden, it's texting in bed. And they don't talk, they don't know what the conversation is. And then what they do, instead of making a good meal, instead of having a nice time in family, playing a game, what they do, let's go to McDonald's. And they don't even sit in McDonald's, they went to McDrive, they buy it, and they started eating before they get home, because they get home and they have to see TV. One in each division, because they're so sick of each other that they can't stand to be together to see the same programs. This is all part of losing it. They are losing the connection to the selves, to the what do I want of life. It's an old man, it's a child, it's middle-aged, and you'll see this in your therapies. It's incredible, because there's not a graph you can say, oh, it affects more this, it affects more. No. It affects all. So if you see this, you start seeing that people from this age to this way age, they're all sick. They're sick of spirit, connection, knowing what life is truly about. It doesn't matter if you're sweeping the streets, but if you're sweeping the streets, do the best you can, because, whoa, there's a story in Buddhism that it's exactly a monk that was not so bright. He was a little bit dumb even. But the only thing he could do correctly was sweeping. And the other monks laughed at him. But he was one of the first Buddhas, because he understood that humility, and then he understood that gratitude and compassion about life. You can do it in every kind of thing.
But I think this is again the story backwards, because
yeah.
you know, this is all when people say, well, I just start sweeping the floor 24 hours or at least 12 hours a day, you see, and or do what you like to do it with the best but what's in the way is our ego. Completely. So because you cannot, because now first the ego has to collapse, yes, then you can sweep.
The laser helps them.
Yeah, and
because the laser
gives you a sense of self.
Yeah, so it's like an implosion, like something from the inside makes everything going, instead of collapsing inside, because that's what happens with depression, it's going boom, outside of you. And you start, whoa, what's this? And you start enjoying life, and you start drinking more water, because it feels good, because,
But you're like Eckhart Tolle. You talk about these things because you're there. You see, why not enjoy drinking water and another cup of water, and then enjoy a little bit sweeping the floor. Why not? You see, because the thing is, there's the ego in most people that wants to be special, do something that gives them reputation, that gives them excitement, that gives them like the edge, the competitive edge, and all these things.
The adrenaline rush.
Yes. So, like Eckhart Tolle, you have forgotten where you came from, because you did not come from a place where you like to sweep the floor. But now you do. Now you do.
I always say one thing. I usually worked a lot. Now I work even harder, but it's not that much. You see, there was a phrase that I think it was Confucius, and I read it before coming. Know a job that you love, and you'll never have to work one day in your life. And that's true. I really enjoy what I do, and that's it. You know, it's not because I forget where I come from. No, I'm reminded of that every day because I still very close to my fathers. I'm still very close to everyone. And
I mean, forgot that there was a time when, as you say, you were working to kill time, basically.
And
you
that's
see,
it.
See, and this is what most people do. They work to kill time,
or even read a book just to kill time, or something to kill time instead of.
So it's not about enjoying work. The enjoyment of work is a result of something else, and this is this collapse in the creation of a sense of self. So that's why I'm saying it's really interesting that almost all that have made the transition, they really don't remember where they came from, you see. Yeah? See, they talk about all the things they like now, and they think, well, if you like those things, you're like me. But no, you have to first throw out all the stuff, the trash that did not make you enjoy it in the first place.
It's not that easy. It is not that easy. Even today I still struggle with it.
And when you connect people with the laser, do you see sometimes real shift in exactly this kind of...
Immediately.
Yeah.
From the first second you turn it on, okay, there are some people that go like, oh, they're so scared of what they're doing that they think they can kill themselves. And in fact, it's only the mind trying to get away. I usually have it's a small room, quiet room, hot room, and there are people saying, I'm very cold. Can you please turn up? And it's already 33.
It's actually hot. I was in this one, and it's actually a good idea. Make a small room which is almost body temperature. Then it's
and
adding
people
to
will say it's cold. What's that? It's your mind. It's your ego saying it's not comfortable here. I want to go home. I want to go away here. I never want to come back. Why? Because for the first time, the mind is losing control. And I think that's it. It's only losing control to the mind, because we are taught since we are a very young age. Your mind controls everything. You have control of nothing. Nothing. So we better enjoy it. You know? And that's why we have people from this age, from every kind of ages. It's not a question of race, of groups or anything, because I treat everyone. And I mean every kind of people. I have 3 priests, imagine, there in my clinic. And we're talking about religion because they have a loss of faith. And they do have a loss of faith. Why? Because they are a reflection of their communities. If their communities have a lack of faith, also the priest, he's only working because now he's wearing that thing, struggling to suffocate. And one of my priests even does surf. Imagine. Oh, but he had to stop because of a problem of his spine. And I was like, okay, come over here, I'll treat your spine. Very young guy. And then there's another guy that's coming from Lisbon, and he's having a lot of people because he's always saying, let's go, let's do it. And he comes to me and says, I have no more strength to go on. So, what's this? This is a complete lost in the middle, because I believe that they first had what you said, like, oh, a calling, and they went for it. Good. But then they got it, and it's so big for them that they cannot handle it. That's the same with relationships. People do that. They're feeling the need of something, and they think, oh, it's not here. It's over there. Let me go there. And they go, and then they have it, and it's okay for a while. And then it goes away. And you need, oh, it's not this. I need to have an affair. Oh, that's it. Because that person treats me. Oh, come on. Impossible to have it like this. If you're always looking outside, you'll never find anything. With the laser, you can create that bridge. You know, that's why I say I use it for different things. The health navigator is for one thing, the laser is for another completely different. I even say that the laser is the next great thing, because the health navigator helps you to stabilize, because some people go there completely a mess, and you have to start somewhere. Okay, but that part for me is the most important of the process, and that's even the cheapest one I use. I could be at like 30, 40, 50. No, I use it only for 10 euros, and it's like, to Portuguese, it's like almost nothing. It's like eating a meal in Portugal.
Yeah, 10 euros he charges per session, but nobody has to be present, and it's important that people do it.
The buttons and go
yes.
into it for half an hour. And
yes,
And that's the true resonance. Why? Because the only thing the laser does is connect yourself. If there's a guy there in the room, maybe it's connecting both of them, I don't know. It's something like, it doesn't matter, because I even think that if a person is doing treatment and there's someone there, they started going, what you're seeing, what you want to hear. You see, the mind is there again. And the objective is to lower the mind, so allow your spirit to grow again. And your spirit doesn't grow through emotion.
Do you keep the same setting for every client?
Yes.
Which is?
The one I discovered back there.
No, I mean the tuning.
No, the tuning, I usually do it here at 3, and here it goes 40, 50, as long as it reaches 3 volts on the right side. You know?
Okay, but
3 volts.
You keep this for everyone?
For everyone, yes.
And you don't have different people reacting? Yes, you said some people can feel
strongly,
more energy.
Others say, oh, please push it harder.
Yes.
Okay, so we push it harder because they want it, okay.
Okay, so you modulate still a bit, it's not always the same.
Yes, but they only for extreme cases. 90% of the people are okay with it. You see, it's those 10% are the people that are so afraid of something new, and the others that say, this is nothing, I'm a man, give me more, you know? So you see, it's the extremes. It's the women, it is feminine energy, the masculine energy.
Thank you.
Sorry.